And Darren Perrin joins us live now from the newsroom with a major development in a Vermont cold case. Darren, what can you tell us?
Stina, the question of who killed Rita Curran haunted Burlington for decades. Now police say they know who did it. In a crime that rocked the Queen City, 24-year-old Rita Curran was brutally beaten, sexually assaulted, and strangled inside her bedroom at an apartment on Brooks Avenue in Burlington. The gruesome murder shattered the neighborhood's sense of security at the time and triggered one of Vermont's most notorious unsolved mysteries. Who killed Rita Curran? A question her family thought may never be answered until now.
We're all confident that William DeRoos is responsible for the aggravated murder of Rita Curran.
Burlington police identify Rita Curran's killer as William DeRoos, a neighbor who lived in the same building in an upstairs apartment he shared with his wife. He was 31 at the time. He didn't know Rita, who police say fought for her life.
And I'm still amazed today, after all these years, what they were focused on, and they actually collected a lot of stuff way ahead of their time.
Detectives at the Burlington Police Department were assigned to the Curran case over the decades, but it wasn't until about 3 years ago that the BPD put a large team of investigators and crime ID technicians on it, basically a CSI unit.
Really, it was the enormity of the case that needed the team approach. The amount of evidence was just staggering. This was the most investigated case the Burlington Police Department had ever had.
DeRoos had been questioned by police the day Curran's body was found, but they say he convinced his then wife to provide an alibi. That wife, interviewed 50 years later, admitted she lied to police. They also say DeRoos had a history of violence and manipulating women, choking his second wife unconscious, stabbing one of her friends randomly. But the key piece of evidence needed to pinpoint the killer was right in front of investigators all along. A cigarette butt discarded at the scene, but kept all these years. It cracked the case.
The cigarette butt had been dropped there and burned out on the floor next to her body.
Given his violent past and proximity to the murder, DeRoos's name had been added to the suspect list. They tracked down a half-brother in Alabama to get a DNA sample. Through advanced testing, they determined without a doubt the cigarette came from DeRoos. Further testing of other evidence like Curran's clothing also determined DeRoos's DNA was likely on that too. But DeRoos will not face justice. He died from a drug overdose in California in 1986. Coming up tonight at 6, I'll lay out more evidence that helped police pinpoint the killer. And I'll talk to Rita Curran's sister about this major development they've waited a half a century for. Christina?
Darren, thank you. We'll see you next hour.